Hi viewers, this is Shara Inspires yet again, and it's been a long time. I just met a friend over the weekend and she was like, hey, I haven't heard anything from you, but all is well. Today is the 15th day of December 2021 and we are getting closer to Christmas. It's all exciting. For me, I don't know about you. We should thank God, by the way, each one of us. There must be something positive that God has done for you. And for me, I just thank God for the gift of life. I just thank God for the gift of vision. I thank God that I'm able to hear. I thank God for a roof over my head. I thank God for so many things. I don't know what you're thanking God for. Now, COVID came, and of course, we haven't been back to what we were supposed to be, and there has been so many changes, and you're thinking, wow, here's Christmas, what's gonna happen? Our normal plans of traveling, maybe up country or going out of the country or going to Mombasa by SGR, you're just not sure what to do. And with this other wave of COVID coming over and maybe yet another lockdown, we are like, oh goodness, like really? But yes, there's hope. There's always hope. Now I tell you something, you may have gone through a lot of turbulences, but this is the time to forget all that and start looking into the new year, and let's have hope that we are getting into the new year without any excess baggage. We are going to just walk into the new year light. You may have lost a loved one. You may have been very kind to your house girl throughout the year, and she suddenly tells you that she needs to leave. No reason whatsoever. You know those girls where you even take them for some course, maybe, you know, dressmaking, and they just wake up one day and tell you that it's over. You may have, you know, transacted maybe with somebody may have sent money on your M-Pesa erroneously. And unfortunately, you may have had Fuliza, so the money disappears. So when the person wants to reverse the money, they are unable to, and they start imagining that you wanted to steal from them. So it becomes complicated and your line is blocked. You may have been very faithful to your spouse. Every time they anger you, you forgive them. You know, the way the Bible tells us that you forgive people like over 1,000 times, and you've been doing that. And they still keep getting you angry to an extent of maybe he used to be violent, you've prayed over it, you fasted over it, and it's gone. Then suddenly out of nowhere, they take you for granted and turns all the negative again back to you, as if all is forgotten. They take you for a fool. It happens. All this I'm telling you, these are things that people talk to me about in the course of my work as a counselor, as a mediator. I hear lots of stories, I tell you guys. I have enough shock absorbers even for my own life. You may have been in a business partnership and you've lost everything. Your partner kicks you out. Your employees, they don't want you anymore. You may have had a business and your employees turn around against you. People have really told me stories and I'm thinking, wow, this has been quite an year. And like every day, we really go through challenges, but these challenges, I always try and turn the tests into testimonies. You must be watching me and you're thinking, goodness, I have met the devil himself, you know, in whatever you've gone through. Because you're thinking, this person has come into my life just the way the devil does to steal, to destroy, and eventually kill me. And it's possible because it's not always that we are on the same page with the people we're interacting with. People come into your life for a reason, for a season, and you don't know why they come into your life. But as long as you're alive, you're thinking, wow, I got out of this relationship and I'm alive, because some of them really may have come to kill you. In all essence, you know, kill your heart, break your energy. But I want you to turn all this into positivity. You may have lost your job, a job where you are so dedicated, you're committed. You may be having people who are talking ill about you. the opposite of what you are. Like you're nice, you're pleasant. And they will say, this person is hurtful. This person is a bad person, a bitter person, an angry person, the opposite of who you are. I want to encourage you out there and tell you, feel nothing. This is when you know that you're battling a battle. When everything is turned against you, like you've been really a positive person, you've been this kind of people who give back to the community, you've been assisting this needy person, and the person just walks out of your life and says, like for example, maybe, you know, you're the kind of person, if someone comes to wash clothes in your house, or they assist you with, you know, the chores, like here in Kenya, this happens a lot. We have a lot of people coming to assist us, of course, at a small fee. And sometimes you end up like giving them food, and they talk the opposite. They will go and say that, you know, this person is a very bad person. When you go and work at their house, she doesn't even give you water, nor tea, nothing. She's mean, the opposite of who you are. That's when you know you're fighting a spiritual war. You know what they call a spiritual war? This is it. And that is when you need to turn on your knees. You go on your knees and turn to God and pray and just tell God that whatever the storm is coming, I need to know how to fight this. And this is where now forgiveness comes in. You've been having your employee for long, for many years. You assist them, and every Christmas, you know, end of year, like now, you even give them double salary to go home with. And they'll still go and talk ill about you and say that you're a very mean person, which is the opposite. When you hear people talking opposite of who you are, it means your quality. There's something good about you, and God wants to use you so that you can be able to strengthen other people. And when people have nothing else to talk about but talk about you, then it means you're unique. I want to encourage you today and let you know that all is well. They are just naturally people who come into your life so that God can lift you. All these people I'm talking about, when God gets them out of your life, God literally uproots them out of your life and throws them away, because he wants you to start afresh. So as opposed to holding that bitterness in your heart, it hurts at the beginning. Of course, when we all go through this, it hurts, especially maybe if it is your child, if you have grown-up children and you expect them to turn well, and yet they start doing drugs, they start doing, you know, all the values you've instilled in them, nothing, they are doing the opposite. It hurts. If it is your spouse, that's the person who's closest to you. When they cheat on you consistently, over the years, you keep forgiving them, and they always do the same thing, and they take you for granted. They take you to be a fool. They take you to be deaf and blind, just because you are always forgiving. Please don't feel anything. Just know that all this is going to be turned into positive, and you are going to come out the winner. It could be you are those committed men who take care of their families, they are good providers, but you have a wife who will never see the good in you. She's always comparing you to other men. Please, I want to give you hope today and tell you that it happens, and it only makes you stronger. It should make you stronger, not weaker. Let's turn our tests to testimonies this year, so that when we get into 2022, God willing, and God is always willing, this is why you'll be able to speak to the younger people, to the younger generation. You become a mentor. You become a force to reckon with. You become this motivator. That's what I aspire to be. And we are all talented differently. And if you don't use your talent, then you lose it. So let's try. Miles Monroe always tells us that you should go to the grave empty, like he did. He was a great man, a great male mentor. He's written many books, great books. And that's how it's supposed to be. So use whatever it is. If you're a singer, you sing. If you speak, then speak out there. Just say it, because this life is a journey and we are all passing by. So please, I want to encourage you today and let you know that it's not only you who's going through difficulties. You may even be the person who is hurting others. I will not forget a story whereby I know a lady. She resides in, she's running actually a business, a cafe business. And early in the morning, they always have to fetch water, from the main tap. So while she's doing this, one time she came earlier than usual and found her landlady stealing water from her. The landlady is supposed to be doing well, better than you if you're renting the premises, and the landlady is stealing from you. There are lots of people who are like that. You're doing business with them, but they only see the negative in you. You whatever you do, the good, anything, they'll always turn it into the negative. They'll tell you, oh, this place is not clean enough. This, environment is not quality. And yet, theirs is the opposite. When they talk to you, they'll tell you that, this person is very bad. This person is not understanding. This person is not patient. And yet they mean, I'm the one who is not patient. I'm the one who is not understanding. I'm the one who is mean. Now, you only need spiritual eyes to understand that the person you're interacting with is actually the opposite of what they are saying. And it always comes out in the open. Because this person, somehow, God gets them into your life and out of your life and exposes them into the light, so that everybody can see them for who they are. And it doesn't even matter if everybody doesn't see that, but God shows you and reveals this person for who they are. So sometimes you're thinking, goodness, I didn't have to lose that employee. This person was so good. My assistant was so good. My manager was so good. Why did they have to go to another company? But maybe this was the thorn. Just like Paul tells us about that thorn that, kept pricking him in his life. Maybe this is the thorn that God wants to get it out of your life, but half the time we don't know. So you're fighting a spiritual battle. When you do good things to people and they turn them into bad things. You are kind to somebody, they say you are unkind. You are a manager and you give your employees a salary increment, and they will lie and say that you didn't give them an increment, that you actually stole their money. You will find a couple that they are united in lying, such that they will go out of their way to, if you employ another employee within your organization, they go against you. They look for this employee. They look for their telephone numbers to call them up and ask them, what are they doing in your organization? The job they left. And how much are you earning? And how are you doing? It is so important to let go. So please, forgive all these people who've been doing to you bad things throughout the year. Today is the 15th of December 2021, a few days to Christmas and into the new year. Forget about them. We need sometimes to get into our lives whereby you actually, go through the list of people that you have even on your phone, and you keep deleting some of them, because you cannot be surrounded by people who do not add value. You cannot be surrounded by people who are forever negative. If you don't remove them, somehow God removes them from you. And sometimes if you keep condoning them, then you find that you are in a toxic friendship. Sometimes it could be an individual. Sometimes it could be many. It could even be your in-laws. Because nobody's perfect. So before you turn your finger and point at somebody else and say, that person did something bad to me, have you ever thought of turning the finger inwards and saying, what did I do to contribute to that situation becoming the way it did? What did I do? Few people do that. They'll just point fingers at others and say, oh, that person is a wizard, that person is a witch, that person is a miser, that person is... Whatever names they want to use, the negative names. But do not judge. Yes, it's possible that that person spiritually, you're not praying to the same God. They are praying to a different God. And that's how their things work. So you just let them be, and you say, all right, we are not on the same page. Maybe they don't want to go to the same club and become members of your club. So you go to your club. Sometimes you just have to let go. So this year, I would like you and let's just let go of all those negativity that is surrounding us in form of people, and even clean house. You know what I'm saying? Change your curtains, change your house, change how you speak, change your wardrobe. Just make a change. And every day you're growing older. So remember, whatever age you are, there's somebody out there who is looking at you, and they either think you are going to be a positive mentor, or they don't want to be like you. So before you point a finger at other people saying you are perfect, you should ask yourself, am I really perfect? When you say that other person is, a thief, if you nab them a thief, you should also turn the finger inwards. What have you stolen from people? Maybe you have stolen their happiness. Maybe you have stolen their spouse. Maybe you have stolen money from them. So don't just conclude anything. Do not say things about other people that you don't want people to say about you. Because the time will come when whatever you've done to people, it will also be done to you. You've been a bad manager. Time comes when you lose your job and you move on. And big organizations, by the way, they let go of you a long time ago, and you're walking around, you're clueless that you've lost your job, and everybody else knows except you. Just the way like you can have a spouse, those men who love house girls. So he's always coming home and they're having a good time with the house girl. And for example, maybe you reside in a flat. Until you let go of this house girl, you sack her and she goes, then your neighbors will be like, oh, it's a good thing that you let her go. Do you know what she's been doing behind your back? Please don't tell me when she's gone. Just keep it and zip. If you can't tell me when she's with me. Some of them will go, leave your children, and they're drinking alcohol all day, and you don't know. Then when you sack them, someone comes and tells you, oh, this housekeeper of yours, this is what she's been doing. It's a very good thing that you let them go. Why didn't you tell me before? And remember, there are people who have so much weakness. They are so bitter with their lives. They are so upset with their children. They are so unhappy with their looks. They are so unhappy with everything around them is just negative. They are always predicting doom. They are always seeing negativity. And then they use you as a stepping stone so that they can, come and empty their negativity on you. Refuse. Just accept and say, I'm a positive person, I'm light, and I'm going to bring light. So that darkness, I refuse. So this year, refuse all that darkness that has come with COVID and the people who have come with it in your life, because as a human being, you will be able to go through all this. So are you the negative person or the positive person? In the relationships you've been, in the friendships you've been, have you been the bad person or the good person? So let's try and point fingers inwards this year. And then let's forgive. But remember, when you forgive, if it is your spouse who has been hurting you and continues to hurt you, imagining that, you're okay with how the situation is and everything that has been happening, you're okay. It doesn't mean that you will trust them again. Of course, you will not trust them again. So just let God take control. Forgiving somebody means you forgive them and move on. It doesn't mean you have to reconcile, because you can forgive them in absentia. They could be far and you decide, no, let's keep the distance. I forgive you, but I have moved on. So move on too. Or you moved on. And I took time to move on, but I'm moving on now. And when you hurt people, stop going back to try and hurt them some more. Please have a life. Look inwards and say, I have been bad this year. I have done so much wrong. let me try and change. It's not easy to change and become a positive person if you've been consistently negative. There are people you'll not even see their smile. They're always so angry, so uptight. Their eyes, how they look, how they turn their heads, how they speak to you, even just saying hello, what's good about the morning. They're so angry. People are walking around dead. Their lives are so boring, so they have to release their negativity onto others. Do not accept. Do not become. When I was growing up, there used to be these city council trucks that used to come and carry garbage from the estates. You know, nowadays we have these young men who go around and they pick the garbage. We used to have trucks. The city council was very effective, and they would come and pick garbage. Please do not become a city council truck where people bring you their anger, their bitterness, their discomfort, their lack of money, their lack of finances, their spouses' issues, their in-laws' issues, all the negativity. Even in church, you know, they have issues with the management of the church, they have issues with their neighbors, they have issues with their colleagues. Everything is negative. Please do not become like a pit latrine. Sorry to put it this way, but do not accept. Let's be positive people. Let's forget all this and move on being positive. Let's look at, you have a roof over your head. You're alive. Let's start with alive, by the way. Alive, just being alive is a gift, because every day when we sleep, we are as good as dead. So when you're alive, that's it. You have a roof over your head. You have a job, whatever job you're doing. Concentrate on your family. Stop looking and pointing fingers at others. Try and also concentrate. Get busy with your life. Get busy with your spouse. Get busy with your children. Get busy with your wife. Get busy with your colleagues in a positive manner. Do not be the reason why people are getting sacked in your company. Do not be the reason why you're always the one who is witch hunting. You know, you're snake-like. You go to the boss to tell the boss, things about other employees, so that at the end of the year, you can be given this, maybe this huge shopping voucher. Please, let's love ourselves. Let us know ourselves. Let us have pride in self. And let us have a stand. Do not be this kind of person who is like a train. You're tossed this way, you go. You're tossed backwards, you go. You're tossed this way, you go. You know, like that. There's a song we sing where you are told, you go towards the front, you go. Go towards the side, you go. But in life, you've got to sit and say, yes, this direction I will go, this one I will not. But you can't go with the flow. You can't go with the wind. Every day you're growing older. You may be a mom. You may be an auntie. You may be a dad. You may be an uncle. You may be somebody's colleague. You may be somebody's boss. You may be somebody's employee. What value are you adding to that person? That's a question I have for you tonight. So please, forgive all those people who have wronged you this year, but that does not mean that you give them a green light to walk all over in your life, to walk all over your heart, and then you give them the key to come back and hurt you again. That is not what forgiveness means. It simply means that you have let go, you're starting afresh, and God is taking control, and positive things are coming your way. So do have a Merry Christmas, and nawatakia Christmas njema, nawatakia Christmas njema, nawatakia Christmas njema na mwaka mpya. So all the best and clouds of blessings as always, and look forward to hearing from you, and I will be glad to read your comments. Asanteni.